One ordinary morning turned into something unforgettable. Ravana, beautiful husky with mismatched eyes and a calm, soulful presence, walked into the city's shelter beside her owner. It was meant to be a quick visit, drop off a donation, check on a few animals, then head home. But the moment Raven stepped through those doors, something shifted. She paused. Her body tensed. Her gaze locked straight ahead. In a corner kennel near the back, something unusual lay low against the cold concrete floor. Not a puppy, not a cat. A small, spotted figure, wild, tense, but not afraid. A Bobcat Cub, no more than 3 months old. The shelter staff had found him that morning near the city entrance, huddled beneath a billboard, too exhausted to run. No tags, no microchip, no sign of his mother. Just leaves tangled in his fur, a limp in his right hind leg, and a flicker of defiance in his golden eyes that hadn't faded, not even behind bars. Mike, the shelter director, hesitated before putting him in general holding. "We thought we'd have to send him to wildlife control," he said. "But he's quiet, watchful, doesn't hiss, doesn't growl, he just waits." Raven's owner crouched beside her, gently holding her leash. "You see him?" he asked softly. Raven didn't bark. She didn't growl. She took one careful step forward, then another. Her eyes never left the cub. Mike cautiously opened the kennel. "You sure?" he asked. Raven didn't flinch. The moment the gate clicked open, the bobcat looked up, not with fear, but something else, recognition, like he'd been waiting for her. The cub didn't attack, didn't retreat. He limped forward, slow but steady, until he stood inches from Raven. She lowered her head, touched his nose to hers. No one spoke, no one breathed. Then Mike whispered, "Well, I'll be." The bond was instant, silent, unmistakable. Later, paperwork in hand, Raven's owner signed the temporary custody forms. "We'll foster him," he said, "until we figure things out." The drive home was 9 hours. Raven kept the cub curled between her paws in the back seat the entire way. Snow dusted the windshield. The engine hummed. Raven didn't sleep. Neither did the Cublio, as he would soon be named. He just lay there, head tucked beneath Raven's chin, their breathing perfectly in sync. By the time they pulled into the gravel driveway, the decision was made. Leo wasn't going back. Raven's owner gave them space, converted the sunroom into a sanctuary, scratching posts, soft bedding, toys, a perch overlooking the woods, but Leo rarely used it without Raven. If she wasn't nearby, he paced. They did everything together, ate side by side, Raven with kibble, Leo with raw meat. They slept curled like puzzle pieces. If Raven barked at a sound outside, Leo jumped to the window. If Raven chased a ball, Leo darted after it, not to play, but to protect. Neighbors heard about the odd pair. Some reported it, others came hoping for a glimpse, a husky and a bobcat living like siblings. Raven didn't mind. Leo, though cautious, never showed aggression, but nature has a long memory, and soon whispers returned about what Leo was. Not just a cub, a predator. One frigid afternoon, Mike called. Wildlife control had been alerted. They wanted to assess Leo's behavior. Translation: they wanted to take him. "He's not ready," Raven's owner argued. "He's bonded. He's safe. He's not a threat." "I know," Mike said, "but they don't see it that way." Raven seemed to sense it. That night, she didn't leave Leo's side. She growled at every sound. When a raccoon scurried past the porch, she snapped at the glass. Leo mimicked her nod out of fear. But loyalty. The next morning, a white van parked at the end of the drive. 2 officers stepped out, clipboards in hand, tranquilizer gear visible. Raven stood between them and the door. "You're not taking him," the owner said firmly. "We just need to observe," one officer replied. "Inside, duh." Leo perched on the couch, alert still. When one officer reached for the scanner, Leo bolted, not away to Raven. He pressed himself to her side, eyes locked on the men. "That's not normal," one muttered. It is for him, the owner said. He chose her, not fear, not violence. Family. A long silence followed. Finally, one officer lowered his scanner. We'll report back. No promises. That night, neither animal slept, and then the unthinkable. It started with leaves crunching. Outside, Raven froze. Leo followed her gaze. Then the bang. A pellet gun shattered the window over Leo's perch. A group of teens, drunk and curious, had broken onto the property. One brought a pellet gun. Another filmed on his phone. Glass exploded. Leo bolted upstairs. Raven was faster. She lunged through the dog door. Barking like thunder, she chased them deep into the woods until their laughter turned to screams and their footsteps disappeared. Police came, but the damage was done. Upstairs, Leo was found hiding. Behind the toilet, panting, Raven's owner didn't touch him. He just sat beside him, whispering softly. It took 3 hours before Leo came out because Raven walked in, nudged him, and lay beside him. She licked his head, again and again, until he stopped shaking. Then the video surfaced, not the break, in just the aftermath. Raven snarling outside, Leo growling behind shattered glass. The clip went viral. Not how the teens intended. At first, outrage, then debate. Some demanded Leo be removed. Others called it a tragedy in the making. But then, compassion fought back. A retired ranger commented, "You scare a wild animal, and then blame it for being scared. That's the real danger." Still the pressure mounted. Another letter. 72 hours. Leo would be seized. That night Raven vanished. The owner found her upstairs in the bathtub. Leo curled beside her, both staring at the door like they were waiting to be taken. That night, the owner recorded a video. 3 minutes. Leo curled in Raven's lap, playing, drinking water, listening for knocks at the end. The owner's voice, "This isn't danger. This is trust. This is healing. This is family." It went viral. Millions of views. Experts weighed in. Behaviorists, veterans, wildlife officers. This wasn't instinct. This was love. Wildlife control reversed the order. Leo would stay under monitored sanctuary care with biannual check-ins. News broke. Headlines read, "Can love tame the wild?" Months passed. Raven and Leo found peace. One day a girl visited with her family. She had lost her dog. She hadn't smiled in weeks. When she saw Raven and Leo, her face lit up. She whispered, "Maybe my dog is helping a bobcat now, too." Leo began chirping soft rolling sounds meant only for Raven. He brought her feathers, sticks, socks. She guarded him when he played. When a thunderstorm rolled in, Raven tried to nudge Leo under the couch. When she couldn't fit, Leo dragged a blanket over her back. That moment made it into classrooms, rehab centers, counseling sessions. A year later, the house was quiet, safe, settled. If Raven could speak, maybe she would say, "I'm not just a dog. I'm his guardian." If this story touched you, share it, like it, and subscribe to Pawthos, where love meets wild and healing finds its home. Subscribe to Pawthos, where nature's stories speak and we listen.